It's felt ages, but the Premier League predictions are back. Yes guys, welcome back to another video on the channel, and today welcome to game week 22 of the Premier League predictions. It's felt quite a very long time since the last Premier League predictions. That was nearly like 3 weeks ago, to be fair. And if you generally think about it, it was quite a long time ago. But yeah, anyway, let's stop waffling and let's get into the video. Okay then, and the first game is a 7:30 kickoff this evening at the City Ground. It is Nottingham Forest versus Arsenal. Now, I think this should be a very, very good game in my opinion. Arsenal haven't won any of the last 3 visits to the City Ground, and I think we all remember what happened last season when Arsenal travelled to the City Ground. Arsenal lost 1-0, City were crowned champions, Forest stayed up, and I'm sure Arsenal will be looking for a little bit of revenge this evening after what Forest did to them in that fixture in May 2023, or whenever it was. I think it was in May, but yeah, I think this will be quite a tight game in my opinion. I think Forest at home are quite difficult to play against because they beat Man United at home this season, which is quite a big result for them considering where they are in the table. I mean, yes, of course they do come into this game after a 0-0 draw against Bristol City in the FA Cup, which, I don't know, is it a good result? I don't know, to be fair, but their last Prem game at home was obviously that game against Man United, and also they've just recently beaten Newcastle at St James's Park as well, but of course their last Prem game in general was a 3-2 defeat against Brentford, which, I mean, it's not a bad result. Only a 1-goal difference. I mean, Brentford at home as well are actually quite decent, but I reckon Arsenal sneak a win, in my opinion, because Arsenal, they won their first game since December 17th. That was after they dismantled Crystal Palace. But I think this will be a tougher game for the Gunners tonight. But I think they're going to sneak a win. Forest 1, Arsenal 2. Okay then, and the next game from Craven Cottage is Fulham versus Everton. Now, Everton, of course, they got knocked out of the FA Cup. Heartbreak for them. They conceded in the 96th minute. Of course, that sent Luton through to the next round. Of course, Luton will be playing against Man City in the 5th round of the FA Cup. Of course, we'll speak about Luton in a second, but it must have been absolute heartbreak for Everton. But yeah, of course, Fulham, of course, they recently just lost. Well, they drew against Liverpool, but they lost on aggregate to miss out a place in the Carabao Cup final. They've just lost to Newcastle in the FA Cup, so Fulham, their chances of a trophy are pretty much over. So they've just got to fight for what's left, to be honest. But I mean, tonight, I reckon Fulham probably win. Of course, the game being played at Craven Cottage, I think that gives Fulham a big advantage in my opinion. But Everton, they need to start winning. They haven't won in quite a while, to be fair. And I think I think Everton, I don't think they're going to win tonight. I think Fulham win. Of course, Alex Iwobi, the former Evertonian, will he score against his former club? I have a feeling he might. But yeah, I'm going to go 2-0 to Fulham. Okay, then the next game at Kenilworth Road is Luton Town versus Brighton and Hove Albion. Of course, Brighton were Luton's first opponents in their first season ever in the Premier League. And of course, it is round 2 between Luton and Brighton tonight at Kenilworth Road. Of course, Brighton, I think they won 4-1 when the two met on the opening day of the season. But I have a feeling this game will be a lot closer. Of course, the game is at Kenilworth Road. Some teams do struggle when they come down to Kenilworth Road, and I think Luton are quite good when they are at home, to be honest. I don't think this will be an easy game for Brighton, in my opinion. I think Luton will be up for it. I'm going to go with a draw. Luton 1, Brighton 1. I'm going to go 1-0. Okay, then a big game at Selhurst Park tonight. It is Crystal Palace versus Sheffield United. Should be a very, very good game in my opinion. Of course, Sheffield United, of course, they're out of the FA Cup. Palace, of course, they lost to Everton, obviously in that 3rd round replay, so they were out of the FA Cup ages ago. Of course, Palace, their last game, they got absolutely battered by Arsenal. And in the middle of the game, like, the Palace fans were holding a banner. And I mean, it's quite upsetting because you can literally just see Roy Hodgson just staring at that banner. And he looks so upset. I mean, to be fair, I felt really bad for Roy Hodgson. I mean, to be fair, the ownership at Palace isn't that great. I mean, Roy Hodgson, I mean, he is the oldest manager in the league. I mean, fair play to him though. I think, let me Google, hold on. I don't know, hold on. How old is Roy Hodgson? I mean, fair play to the bloke. He's 76. 9th of August, 1947 he was born. I mean, if there is any Palace fans who are watching this video, put down in the comments what's going wrong at your club. Is it Hodgson's fault? Is it the ownership? I do think you guys will win, but I don't think it'll be an easy game. Sheffield United will be up for it. Of course, they need to win. The Blades have to win this game. I think Sheffield United bottom of the league, but I think Palace win this one. I'm going to go 2-1 to Palace, home advantage. Okay, then the next game comes from Villa Park. I think this will be a very good game. It is Aston Villa versus Newcastle United. Now, of course, Villa, they drew 0-0 with Chelsea on Friday. Of course, they've got a replay with Chelsea. Newcastle, of course, they've just beaten Fulham in the FA Cup, and they will play Blackburn in the next one, the Alan Shearer derby. Of course, by the way, guys, Alan Shearer used to play for. Of course, Alan Shearer obviously was part of the Blackburn Rovers team that won the league, and of course he used to play for Newcastle as well. So yeah, I wonder who Alan Shearer will be backing in that game. But yeah, I mean, anyway, of course, Villa. Just this game in general, I think it should be a very good game. Of course, Newcastle, they're kind of slipping off at the moment. Of course, it looks like Almiron might be staying because the Saudi Pro League transfer deadline is actually today. I mean, it's 9 p.m. The deadline in Saudi Arabia is shut, so most likely Almiron will be staying at Newcastle. Guimaraes, I've heard a few rumours going around that he might be going to Paris Saint-Germain, which is kind of a big move for him, to be fair, but I can't see that happening. I've also heard that Joe Linton might be leaving, but I don't know where to, but I don't think that will be happening either. But Aston Villa, they might be signing Morgan Rogers from Middlesbrough. Actually, he's a very good player. Of course, he only joined Borough from Man City for £1 million last season, and now Villa are going to be getting him from Borough for 16 million. I mean, the space of a year. I mean, he's actually quite a good player. I think it could work out. I mean, joining a top team like Villa is massive for him. But I mean, back to this game. I think it's going to be a really tough night for Newcastle. Of course, Newcastle, they beat Villa 5-1 at St James's Park on the opening day of the season. I mean, what is going on at Newcastle recently? I mean, they've just fallen off. I mean, yes, they've just beaten Fulham in the FA Cup, but in the league, man, what is going on? I mean, because their last game they lost 3-2 against Man City. They were 2-up and they did up pretty much. Villa, their last game in the league, I actually don't know who their last game in the league was against. It was against Everton. Oh yeah, I think they drew that game 0-0. I mean, for Villa's goal, man, I don't think that was off. Was it Villa? Yeah. I think that Villa goal at Everton, I don't think it was offside in my opinion, even though they showed the picture saying that the person was offside. I still don't think it was offside in my opinion. But I think Villa will win tonight. I'm going to go Aston Villa 2, Newcastle United 0. Okay, then moving on to tomorrow's games, and the first game is Manchester City against Burnley. Of course, this was the first game of the season back in August. I mean, City fans will be delighted. Erling Haaland is back for this game. I think Pep Guardiola has confirmed that Haaland will be back for this game. And if you're a Burnley fan, that is not good news, to be honest. I mean, it's actually kind of weird, to be fair. Of course, Burnley's manager is Vincent Kompany. Man City, Vincent Kompany used to play for Man City. I think Kompany was in the team when that Aguero moment happened in 2012. But it's just kind of weird. he has a statue of himself, and he's and it's kind of weird to be fair. I literally saw a video a couple of minutes ago of a journalist asking him about that statue, but yeah, anyway, this has got nothing to do with the game, but yeah, for me, I think City, I think they'll win. Of course, they beat us on Friday night. I mean, I still can't believe that goal's due, because I'll speak about Tottenham in a minute, but yeah, I think City win this one. I'm going to go 5-0 Man City. Okay, speaking of Tottenham, the next game is Tottenham versus Brentford. Of course, the FA Cup dream is over. And just literally, honestly, I still can't believe that goal stood. Clear foul on Vicario, but VAR gave it as a goal. Literally, Ruben Diaz is like this. Vicario can't get to the ball. Foul, but no. Literally, the same thing happened when Man City played Liverpool. Man City scored, Alisson was fouled, and they give a foul. And then that's literally the same thing, but they give the goal. Where is the consistency here? Where is the consistency? It's absolutely fucking nowhere. I mean, honestly, you might as well add that to City's bloody charges. Honestly, but yeah, anyway, I mean, well, Ange said in his press conference today that it looks like there will be no more signings. So look, I mean, of course, we have been linked with Antonio Nusa and Gallagher. I mean, it looks like we'll probably have to go for them too, again in the summer. But yeah, I mean, it's not going to be an easy game, because Brentford, I mean, they are a very good team. Well, they're a decent team, to be fair. But I think at our place, I think we have to win, in my opinion. I mean, Brentford, they're a half-decent team. Of course, Ivan Toney's just come back. I think Toney scores, in my opinion, because, I mean, in the last game against Forest, he was quite decent. And, well, to be fair, I didn't really watch the game, but I saw his goal. I mean, by the way, debate, should Ivan Toney's, the free kick goal, should have stood, because he moved the ball. He moved the ball on the free kick, he got the paint thing on his hand, put it back on the grass again, put the ball there, and then scored. So that's a debate. Put it down in the comments. Should that goal have stood? Yes or no? But yeah, anyway, I mean, I think they're going to win. I mean, I think, as I speak, I think South Korea are losing 1-0 to Saudi Arabia in the Asian Cup. So if that game stays how it is, Son is going to be out and he'll be back for us, which is good news. I mean, hopefully he should be back for the game. I don't know if he'll be back for the Everton game, but he might be back for the game after that, which I actually don't know who it's against. I think it's against Brighton. But yeah, anyway, prediction, I'm going to go 2-1 to Tottenham. Come on. Okay, and the next game is another big game at Anfield tomorrow. It is Liverpool versus Chelsea. Of course, Liverpool, we all know the news. Jurgen Klopp is leaving at the end of the season. And I mean, wow. I mean, that news just came out of fucking nowhere. I was just eating my chicken and chips in tutor at school on Friday. And then my mate, Elliot, big up to him by the way, he just tells me that Klopp's leaving. And I'm like, nah, you're lying. And then he tells me to go look at the teacher's computer who had it up. And I'm like, oh, wow. I mean, I don't think anyone was really expecting Jurgen Klopp to leave, to be honest. I mean, as much as I don't like him, but he is a legend, to be honest. I mean, when Klopp came in at Liverpool, I mean, if you had that Liverpool team that back then was Simon Mignolet, Nathaniel Klein, Adam Lallana, bloody, Mohamed Sakho. Ow, that kind of hurt. Mohamed Sakho, people like that. I mean, the way Klopp has just transformed that team, because obviously before Klopp was manager, I think it was Brendan Rodgers, and I mean, they bottled the league. Well, they lost the league title to City in 2014 under him, because they had like Gerrard in that. But I mean, Klopp has just changed that team from doubters. I mean, this has been the key quote of Liverpool recently, from doubters to believers, because when Klopp came in 2016, I don't think any Liverpool fan was expecting them to win a Champions League, the FA Cup, the League Cup, the Club World Cup, the Super. No Liverpool fan was expecting, when Klopp first came in 2016, nobody was expecting just to do that. And I mean, the players he's brought in, like, you know, Salah, I mean, like players back, you know, Mane, God, there's quite a lot of players, to be fair, but I mean, Klopp is a Premier League legend, to be fair, and I mean, who will be his successor? Most likely, it probably will be Xabi Alonso, who is unbeaten with Bayer Leverkusen at the moment. I mean, I've heard they're trying to get Ange. That's not happening, by the way. They might be getting De Zerbi. I mean, realistically, it probably will be Xabi Alonso, but I don't know though. Will he want to leave Leverkusen? Because at the moment they might win the Europa League. They might win the Bundesliga, and are they out of the German Cup? I don't think they are. They might win the German Cup or the DFB Pokal. But I mean, anyway, let's talk about Chelsea quickly. I mean, of course, there's loads of stuff going around about Conor Gallagher. Will he join us? I mean, I don't think it'll happen, in my opinion. I think he probably will stay at Chelsea, even though Chelsea have said, oh, he's up for sale. But I mean, Chelsea, of course, I mean, their last league game, they beat Fulham, which was a big result for them, of course. And then they go absolutely dismantle Middlesbrough 6-1 in the Carabao Cup semi-final. Of course, the Carabao Cup final is actually Chelsea-Liverpool at Wembley. But I mean, that is kind of boring, I'm not going to lie. I mean, Liverpool will most likely win. And to be honest, I think Liverpool will win this game. Of course, still no Salah. I think, well, he's out for like another 2 weeks, if that. So I don't know what game Salah's going to be back for. But I'm going to go 2-0 Liverpool. Okay, then the next game is West Ham versus Bournemouth at the London Stadium. Now, I reckon this could be quite a tight game, in my opinion. I mean, West Ham, there's been lots of stuff going around with West Ham. Of course, they've signed Calvin Phillips on loan for the rest of the season. Will he start on Thursday? I think he will, to be honest. I mean, Phillips, of course, with the Euros coming up in the summer, I mean, I think he's got to get minutes in. I mean, he'll probably get picked anyway, but I mean, to be fair, he's barely getting minutes. So if he can get as much minutes as possible at West Ham, he'll be ready and prepared to hopefully bring it home in the summer in Germany. But I mean, of course, I've also heard that Ben Rama might be going to Lyon apparently. Pablo Fornals, I think, has gone to Real Betis, I think. I mean, Bournemouth, I've heard David Brooks might be going to Southampton on loan for the rest of the season. But I mean, this will be a tight game. I'm going to back West Ham, though. 2-1 to West Ham, but come on, Bournemouth. Up the cherries. Up the chairs. And the final game is Wolves versus Man United at Molineux. Of course, Wolves, they won the Black Country Derby. Man United avoiding embarrassment as they beat League 2 Newport County 4-2. Right, I just want to start with what happened on Sunday. Because obviously I'm guessing all of you lot have heard what happened. Of course, there were Wolves fans in the West Brom end and there was loads of fights. I mean, personally, in my opinion, who on earth buys a ticket in the home end for a derby? Realistically, who does that? And I mean, fair play to the Wolves fans that were actually in the away end, because they behaved absolutely brilliantly, so respect. I mean, to the West Brom fans though, what are you doing? God. I mean, what are you doing? I mean, just fighting the fan. Literally fighting. So, yeah, go on then. And then, like, where the away end is at the Hawthorns, like, they've got that corner. I mean, especially West Brom fans fighting with the... literally the West Brom, where the away end is at the Hawthorns, they got that corner, and the West Brom fans were literally just trying to get on the pitch and fight the Wolves fans. I mean, honestly, and by the way, the stewarding was terrible. Just letting people walking onto the pitch to start a fight. I mean, yes, people obviously are walking onto the pitch to get away from the situation. That's fair enough, but honestly, I mean, how the game continued as well, I think is a joke as well, in my opinion. I mean, whoever decided to continue the game is a joke, in my opinion. But yeah, Man United, of course, 4-2 win against Newport. I mean, bloody hell, they were 2-0 up and they conceded 2 goals to Newport. I mean, to be fair, I think Newport are unbeaten in their last 7 games in League 2, which isn't too bad. Of course, Hoyland and Anthony scored, but yeah, of course, Marcus Rashford, naughty boy, he's been out clubbing in Belfast in Northern Ireland. I mean, apparently he was ill, but he's really not ill, is he? But yeah, I mean, in my opinion, I can't see United winning this game. Of course, I mean, I just can't see it happening. I mean, they just scraped past Newport. I mean, the Rashford situation. I mean, Wolves at home are quite good as well. But yeah, I'm going to back Wolves here. Wolves 2, Manchester United 0. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching this video. Smash like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.